Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio and day 90 of my 100 Day Project series. Yeah, I think I mentioned in the last video, I did finish it. The actual 100 days is over, but I have lots of footage left. So this is the second to last in the series, and I don't know, it might be a little long. I've put 6 days on this one to try and get them all in a relatively quick fashion. Sorry, I'm a little dizzy, lightheaded, and winded. I was just out moving all the hoses and equipment and stuff to water the lawn. I know that sounds like that should be something light and easy, but I just moved 250 feet of hose. And I have a little tractor type sprinkler system that's probably 25 plus pounds that I had to set up. And he's new. I should give him a name. But he is pretty heavy. And our lawn is so bad that I haven't gotten it to where he doesn't drop into a hole and shut off. So I do have to go out there and check every once in a while. So if it sounds like I stopped and started again, that would be why. Because I figure about every 10-15 minutes I'm going to go check, make sure he's still running. I will have to move him once he gets past to the end of one hose and onto the next hose, so that he can keep going. He does need a name. Do you want to know what he looks like? I could insert a picture. Okay, there's a photo at the very end of the video, if you all remember by then, of my little tractor. He doesn't have the sprinkler top on. It's him fresh out of the box. So I had taken a picture to show to my sister. Sorry, that I'd gotten it. We own this house together, so kind of a joint effort. All right, so back to the 100 Day Project. Sorry for the distraction. I don't know. It's something to talk about in lieu of adding music, right? So the papers I'm using today are all done on rice paper. And I don't know if you were watching there, I, for some reason, could not get that pink one cut the right way. So I just flipped it, and it works. And then I decided, yep, it's more sticks. And I have this fabric that kind of goes, I think. So I'm just going to cut a really skinny strip off of this and use it to bundle those sticks together. And those are the sticks are probably from one of the fruit trees. That would be my guess. We have tree trimmings from last year on the ground, and I probably just broke them off and brought them in. But I'm just going to take that and wrap it around them, and it'll be sort of a bundle. Well, it'll be a bundle of sticks. I don't know. I kind of like this one. You'll have to tell me what you think. As usual, tell me which one's your favorite. I love to hear it. Love to know which one you prefer over the other. And I'm not being fancy about it. I'm just wrapping it and then gluing the ends. And I love that glitter glue. I'm going to have to buy me another bottle because I'm getting kind of low on there. So there is day 90. The next one is day 91. This is also, I believe this is also rice paper. Well, this is paint. This is, I believe it's DecoArt's, I think. Sorry about my squeaky chair. Oh, it's Delta Creative Ceramicoat in Laguna Blue. And then these are my muted color pages. I've rearranged, at this point, I've rearranged all my papers, sorted them kind of by color, except for I think I left my muteds together, and the ones on the previous, I left those together. The rest of them, they've all been reconfigured and put in, hopefully, some sort of color order for future projects, but I figured it would work for this too. So I just wanted to add some paint, so that's why I put on the Laguna Blue, and it went with these papers. And I also, way back, I did one that, I think it was day 20, 21, one of those days. I used some glass bead gel, and I really wanted to use it again. So I'm going to use it on this page. So I'm just going to add those two pieces of paper. And I don't know why one had to be straight and one had to be crooked. I just wanted it to be. I look back and I'm like, I have no idea what I was thinking. Now I would want them both crooked. But I didn't want them to be a V like the previous one. I don't want to repeat. But it's still sort of in that V shape, isn't it? And then I decided just to cut out one of the stencil pattern. It kind of looks like a flower when you cut it out like that. And we're just going to glue these on. And that rice paper stretches. I measured that, and now it's too long. I was going to cut it with my scissors, and I decided just to go along with a craft knife. I went to do it, it's too wet. So I do it later, you don't see me, but it makes it easy to separate, take the tape off. When I just cut right along that line, very gently, to try and not go through the paper below. And I believe this is mixed media paper. All of my last ones are mixed media paper. Some of the ones before were watercolor, and some were acrylic paper, and paper for acrylic painting. Just whatever I had that was stiff. So this is the glass bead gel. And I'm just putting it along that shape. Just kind of filling up that little area there. I'm trying to make it look smooth, but it's actually really rough. It's like hard to smooth it out because of the glass beads. Alright, so now it's dry. I still haven't put my bit of nature on there yet, but I am taking off the tape so we can see what it looks like. And I decide that you can't see that cutout piece, so I'm just going to go around it with a Stabilo All pencil in black, and then it will show up better. And I take out some matte medium, and just with a brush I lightly go around the edges, so that kind of activates that Stabilo All, and it makes it so it blends and creates kind of a shade behind it instead of just a line. And some of it blended a little bit easier than others. Probably had a little bit more lead down in some areas. And then for my bit of nature, I have a little seashell. It's actually got a hole rubbed in the top of it, but that's what I wanted to use, so we're just gonna, I'm using the Gorilla Glue just so that it'll fill up the shell, and we're gonna stick that in. It's like the center of a flower. And And there is day 91. It's going pretty fast, right? All right. So day 92, I haven't used too many that have actual backgrounds that have actual images. This one kind of has flowers. I really wanted to use it, so I decided why not. I think I did one other that had an actual image, and it was a flower stamp on the gel plate. And I like it too. So, this one, the Bit of Nature, was a pressed flower that I recently found, like right before this. I think a couple of projects ago before this, maybe 2 videos before I mention it, I think, I was going through some stuff, cleaning out some stuff, and found 2 more dried flowers, and I thought they were pretty, so yeah, one is going here and one was on a previous project. Anyway, so this is a really old gel print page, this one with the kind of the woven texture there. It's actually like a onion bag. It's either an onion bag or a potato sack bag where they have that woven plastic. And yeah, I've had it for a really long time. And I just thought I would make some layers. Kind of looks like ground for my flowers, I guess. And to decide where I want it, I'm gluing that piece on and then trimming the edges, and then I'll just tear above it so that it just sits above it just a little bit. And then I decided I needed some more, so we're going to put a little bit more in front of it. Just use that to get the right width, and then I'm just going to tear it randomly and glue it on, and there it is, all together. Oh, and I had this one little bit, so I figured I might as well stick it on there. And I think my camera stops during the gluing process, but you know what happens there. So I've glued my flower on, and I decide it's not standing out quite enough, so I'm just going to go around. This is just a dark blue. I think it's ultramarine blue. It's from the Hippie Crafter. I did a promo video or 2 for them for getting some of their paint and a couple of canvases. And I think their paint's pretty good. And again, I'm just going around shading just to make the plant stand out a little bit. Again, the dog, that one that you hear always barking, his name is Max. I tell people he has Tourette's. He barks at everything, anything, and nothing. There's probably somebody across the street down the block with a dog walking. Oh, now I can hear my nephew. It's his dog. He's hollering at him. All right. So the purple wasn't purple enough for me. So I'm just taking a little bit of a purple craft paint and some white and just helping the purple just a little bit. And I try to make it light enough brush strokes that you can't really tell. I mean, I guess if you look really closely at it, you can tell. But from a distance, not too bad. So that was day 92. Now on to day 93. This one apparently was my brown thing of papers. So I kind of want the transition, the dark to the light. So I cut off a big chunk on that side. Just to take the part kind of out of the middle. And then I want contrast. So I want that darkness. So I'm going to put a little bit of dark on there. And I actually cut around the pattern on the other piece, which I don't think you see me do. Yeah, I measured that all wrong. Yeah. I realized it like right after I did it. Like, that was the wrong direction. Anyway, so I don't think you see me cut that out, but I kind of wanted it to fade into the dark. It kind of does, I guess. You'll see the end result. So there it is, and then I think it like magically changes. There we go. Okay, so my bit of nature is just this little weed. I mean, it doesn't even have a bloom on it or anything. It might have when I first started to try it, but it has these the little petals on the end are little kind of little heart or triangle shapes. And I decided the best way for it to show up is if I painted it in bright gold. So that's what I'm doing. That's Liquitex Bright Gold. I think it might say Bright Iridescent. And I'm trying very carefully to paint those because they're so skinny. I think one of them did break off. I just let it go. Okay, so I've got that. And then I'm just going to put some matte medium on it, I believe, on the underside. It's taken me a minute to get it together there. I guess I didn't edit it. I usually edit my searching for products. So you can't tell. It looks like it's instant and I was ready for it. I'm never ready. So yeah, I'm just putting a little matte medium on the back and then I'll push it down with the paintbrush that has the gold on it. And it's there and it's subtle. Just cleaning up some of the matte medium areas that are kind of squishing over. I just want to make sure those show up really well, so I go over them with a little fine paintbrush in the gold. I'm trying not to miss. My hand is not that steady. Amazingly enough, the older you get, the less steady it is. Alright, so there is day 93. Now, day 94, not one of my favorites. But now I pulled out the yellow package that has yellow papers in it. And we're just gonna trim this one down. I like, I like the stuff. It's just, I don't think yellow's my favorite color. I like it with some stuff. I like yellow and pink together. I like pink and orange together. But this one's just sort of, somebody's gonna like this color. I mean, there are people who like these colors. And I like that weird triangular print. So I decided to take this other yellow piece that has a spiral stencil stamp. It was a gel print, I think. And then I did a couple of circles trying to decide where I was going to put it and what bit of nature. I ended up just doing the spiral and the one small circle. And I looked through all my bits of nature, and I've had a hazelnut sitting there for a long time and just couldn't figure out where I wanted to use it. Well, I decided the color of the hazelnut kind of reminded me of the color in the spiral. So I ended up using the hazelnut on this one. And I did try out a few things before I went to this, but I don't make you suffer through all that. So that is day 94. See, that one was pretty simple, right? Okay, the next one is day 95. It is one of my favorites. Okay, so this is a gel print, and it has Robin McClendon stencil prints on it. And it's also similar to what she would call her old wall technique. It was just grungy goodness. Yeah, so I really like the grunginess of this one. And I feel pretty good about what ends up in the background, or ends up as the piece of nature, even though it's a repeat. No unique items here today. But yeah, I'm just going to stick that one down. Has that little touch of blue? That's okay. Then I decide to pull out my fabric, and oh yeah, see, there's my bit of nature. It's a little rock. It actually is like, I think it's like quartz. It's really sparkly. You can't tell on the film, but it's pretty sparkly. So I go with this sort of maroon and gold patterned sari silk. And then I'm going to put down just a piece of that. It's kind of a off-white, sort of gray, grungy color packing paper. And then I'm going to put a little piece of the Mamagami paper, the magazine Mamagami, that you may have seen in previous projects. It all comes back around, right? I keep going through the same packages, pulling out bits and pieces. I do take some ink to that piece of paper to make it a little brown, a little more rustic looking. So I hope you guys are doing well. I usually ask that much earlier. Hope everything is well where you are. Things are pretty okay here. It's been kind of a rough week, I think, for a lot of people. But I hope you're doing well. And I think this is the last one on this one. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, share with your friends, do all the things. And thank you all for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.